تعمدا من طهرك بك وغطي عظامي بعشب تعمدا من طهرك بك وشد وثاقي بخصلة شعر بخيط يلوح في ذيل ثوبك بخيط يلوح في ذيل.
So just going back and touching upon what we discussed earlier, art is healing, and you had mentioned that it's a therapy for you. How do you envision this, and what is your hopes for the future concerning your artwork and the oppressed brothers and sisters around the world?
I've always had a kind of concept I wanted to kind of develop and maybe set up like a fraternity of people to work with me from different fields of creativity and teaching and photography and drama and, you know, fellow artists of different mediums to set up like a system where we could send people out to different, you know, places, refugee camps, wherever it may be, where children don't have the facility to kind of reflect how they feel, or the medium, shall I say, and then so let them, you know, express themselves through art and drama and photography, and set up a body where we could channel the equipment for that. That'd be a great thing to get involved with, or even be part of. I mean, I'm not saying I should be the person to set that in place. I wish I had the means to do that, but I would love to be participate in something like that. Like I said initially, stories coming from them hold more relevance to me. Because, you know, people like me who could go there and leave. You know, we're still looking from the outside in, and I've got nephews and nieces, and I think about them. I think, what if we were in those circumstances? How would we deal with it? I struggle to deal with it even when I get to leave. Like now, away from there, yeah, to them that's the only home these people have ever had, right? And so yeah, I want to set up a situation or be part of a situation where we could facilitate these ideas, and yeah, let children of all ages reflect how they feel and express that through a medium, and be able to provide the facility for them to do that. I think that's the very, very least we could do. In fact, we should do far more. But like I said, that's just an idea, something I would love to be, you know, partake in.
Relating to that, in the Bay Area here we have.
Maybe.
I'm sorry. I was just saying, in the Bay Area here we have a lot of really talented youth who are into art and murals and things. What advice would you have to our little brothers and sisters here who are aspiring to be artists and create revolutionary art? What would your advice be?
I'd say, you know, go. My advice to them is, I mean, if art serves any purpose, then it has to move people, right? So, in that respect, it doesn't. But you don't set out that way. You don't set out doing a piece thinking it's gonna move people. If it does, that's great. So what I'm saying is people just have to follow their heart, and life of an artist is very challenging as it is, you know. Especially the type of art, you know, revolutionary art. There's always so many obstacles for people like that. But that shouldn't make us feel that we're not able to do that, and we're reflecting our own soul in a very silent about how we feel. You know, it's like a sacred part of how we feel to others. And, you know, this is the sort of art that's always inspired me. It's my interest, like the revolution, Black Panthers, all this kind of stuff. You know, and so when I see that type of work, that draws me close to it. So so I'd say people, wherever our challenges are, we should continue doing what we love to do, because that's the only way we could do it well. If we don't love something, then we're gonna struggle to represent it in any significant or in a sincere way. And don't worry about the aspects of whether someone likes it or not, or that it draws, you know, criticism. I think that's part and parcel of the territory we kind of walk upon. You know, there's always going to be those obstacles, but we shouldn't be too concerned with that.
Listening to your response, it reminds me of the piece that you wrote about your grandfather called Buffalo Soldier. Could you expound a little bit about this piece and how it affected your life?
He's my greatest inspiration, my grandfather. I wrote that piece just reflecting on his life and the fact that he had to leave. Much of his life he spent in the army, and like I said, he was conscripted during the Second World War. Came from a really poor family background. So somehow he found his way here in the UK. He pursued kind of, because of his economical situation, he had to pursue that here, a life here. And I'm not going too deeply into that because it's very emotional for me, but he was a constant level of support to my mother and to me and my siblings. And you know, it's almost like when we're faced with great challenges, you know, sometimes we have to, you know, we have to know his sacrifices. So he sacrificed a lot for the benefit of so many different people. I would hope to think people will remember him, but I remember him in a very special way. And like I said, I don't want to go too much into my childhood and my experiences, but at that age. But my grandfather was the male figure in my life. I always kind of felt if I could be 5% the man he was, I would have done okay. And that's my goal. And he was the sort of man who was a man's man, and I just felt a level of protection from him that I've never felt again. So he provided that for me as a child, and that piece I wrote was a reflection on his life and what brought him here to the UK, and you know, his own experiences in the military. And sadly, he passed away in '96, and I was at university, so I didn't really get a chance to say goodbye to him the right way. His name was Mohammad Akbar, and for those who don't know, Muhammad means worthy of all praises, and Akbar means great. So a lot to live up to that name, and he lived up to it.
You're living up to it as well. I know he'd be very proud of you.